All right, let's be real for a second. We're all judged by our writing, whether we like it or not. So in this explainer, we're going to go beyond the basics. We're here to sharpen your professional English, and we're going to do it by tackling those subtle grammar points that make a huge difference in how you're perceived. You ever ask yourself this? It's a tough question, isn't it? You've got these brilliant ideas in your head, but do the words you type actually do them justice? We've all been there, that frustrating gap between what we mean to say and what actually ends up on the screen. So our goal today is pretty simple. We're going to turn a few common errors into tools for precision. We'll pinpoint some key pitfalls, and then I'm going to arm you with some pro tips and vocabulary to make your communication powerful, clear, and honestly, just a lot more confident. First step, let's talk about a category of verbs that just loves to cause trouble: stative verbs. You can think of these as the verbs of being, not doing. And they have one very specific rule that, gets broken all the time. So here's the deal. Action verbs are things you do, like run, write, or speak. Easy enough. But stative verbs are things you are or feel, like know, believe, understand. And the golden rule here, you almost never add an ing ending to them. It just doesn't work. And this slide shows it perfectly. It might feel like I am not understanding is happening right now, but for a stative verb, the simple form, I do not understand, already covers the present moment. Same thing for the past tense. It's he didn't realize, not he wasn't realizing. Okay, so how do you check yourself? Here's a fantastic little pro tip. Just try putting the phrase I'm in the middle of right before the verb. So I'm in the middle of running? Sounds totally fine. But I'm in the middle of knowing. Sounds weird, right? That's your clue. That's how you know it's a stative verb. All right, let's move on and tackle a classic puzzle. Who, which, or that? Let me tell you, getting this right is such a quick and powerful way to make your writing look instantly more professional. The rules here are actually way simpler than you might think. Who is for people. That's it. End of story. Which is for things, and, this is the important part, for organizations. That is kind of the flexible one. It can often sub in for which. And this right here is the mistake I see all the time. A company is made up of people, so our brains instinctively want to use who. But grammatically, an organization is a thing, so the correct choice is always going to be which or that. Next up, let's talk about the case of the unnecessary word. Some English verbs are just so efficient, they don't need a little helper word, a preposition like of, about, or on, to connect to their object. Nope, they just get straight to the point. This table lays it all out pretty clearly. It's lacks evidence, not lacks of evidence. It's we discussed the issue, not we discussed about the issue. The verb is doing all the heavy lifting itself. I know it can feel a little strange at first, but mastering just these 5 will instantly clean up your writing. Okay, so now that we've done some spring cleaning on those common errors, let's add some power. This is about moving from just being correct to being truly impactful. So here are 6 specific words to elevate your vocabulary and add some serious nuance to your communication. First on the list is sensational. Now, this word is a bit of a trap. It doesn't just mean great or fantastic. In a professional context, it actually describes content that's over the top, sacrificing accuracy for drama. So using it is more of a critique, not a compliment. Next, we have infantilizing. This is such a powerful and useful word. It describes any action or attitude that treats adults like they're children, showing a clear lack of respect for their intelligence or their maturity. And here's a perfect modern example. Have you ever been in a really serious work meeting where you're suddenly being asked to use playful emojis? Well, for some people, that can feel like they're not being treated like a professional adult. That feeling, that is what infantilizing captures so perfectly. Number 3 is insincere. This is for when the words on the page just don't match the true feelings behind them. It points directly to a lack of genuineness that, let's be honest, people can feel a mile away. This applies to pretty much everything, from a half-hearted apology to that hollow corporate speak we all know. If a message just feels forced or fake, insincere is the precise word you're looking for. Now this one, acknowledge, is an absolute must-know verb in your professional life. And here's the crucial thing. Acknowledging something just means I have received your message. It does not mean I agree with your message. That distinction is everything. And this is exactly why it's so important. A simple acknowledged or noted thank you confirms you got it. It stops the sender from sitting there wondering if their message just disappeared into a black hole. It's a tiny act of professional courtesy that goes a very, very long way. Okay, next up is a great little word for creating a really sharp contrast: unlike.
It's a clean, super efficient preposition that immediately sets one thing apart from another.
See how clean that is? In just 4 words. Unlike her colleagues, we've already established a clear difference. It's just a much more efficient way to draw a comparison without a lot of extra fluff. And for our final vocabulary word, we have studiously. This adverb adds such a powerful layer of meaning. It doesn't just mean carefully, it means carefully on purpose. It implies that there's a conscious, deliberate effort being made. This example captures that nuance just perfectly. Someone who is studiously neutral isn't just neutral by chance. They are actively and intentionally working to stay that way. That one word, studiously, communicates all of that hidden effort. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, whether it's dropping an unnecessary little word or choosing the perfect adjective, precision matters. It really, really does. Clear, accurate, and intentional language, that's the bedrock of your professional credibility and the trust people have in you. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Beyond what we've covered today, what's one personal, maybe invisible rule that you rely on to make your own communication more effective? Something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.